good morning and happy finally Friday. Welcome to Breakfast with Bridgett on News 6 Plus and clickorlando.com. I'm Bridgett Ellison. Glad to be with you. And we're headed into a big holiday weekend. It's going to be very busy. Millions of people expected to travel around Florida this weekend, and it will definitely be hot. Meteorologist Candace Campos is standing by in the Pinpoint Weather Center getting us ready for this big weekend. Candace, and you said just put the umbrella away unless you want to use it for some shade.
Exactly. Yeah. We're going to be seeing temperatures back into the mid 90s today, into the upper 90s for tomorrow. So the rule of thumb is that if you do you like how I have my box of Milano cookies behind me?
Oh, I will be coming to see you at 8 o'clock.
We open up a bag in the beginning of the week, and our goal is to still have like a couple more cookies
That's
by
a
the
nice
end of the
goal.
week
Yeah,
between,
I
Steve
like
and I.
that
So
because.
come on down. We have some extras. We have some
But
extras.
are you trading it out for the BOGO for the second bag? Is that what you're doing?
Possibly.
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 Hmm.
But I also just ate a donut that's right behind you that
Yeah. Oh yeah.
producer
Yeah. We both picked
Donovan.
Powdered.
You
Mine was
picked
gone
powder
by the
too.
time you picked yours.
I need to make sure that I don't have anything on my mouth when I was on
I know.
TV. But you know what? Make sure you are staying hydrated. You don't know that you are dehydrated until you're way past the I'm thirsty stage. So if you're
Right.
already thinking, man, I'm really thirsty, I should drink water, that means you're much closer to being dehydrated than you think. So
Hmm.
making sure that you're listening to your body. It is summer. A lot of people do stuff outdoors this weekend. A lot of the kids are out of school now. So you would just need to make sure to practice those smart
Right.
summer concepts, right? So let's take it to the map, show you what's going on. A lot of people might be grilling out there in Central Florida. You can see it's just going to be a really hot stretch of weather there. Temperatures are going to be the mid 90s on Friday through Saturday. We're up to about 96, 98 on Sunday. Same for your Monday. You can see it will be getting pretty close to record breaking temperatures though as we head into the next couple of afternoons. So if we can hop on to links one, Donovan, and I can show you more on what we're talking about here. That's it. It's perfect. Water vapor imagery showing all that moisture out over the Bahamas. It's a big old area of low pressure. It's the same system that brought us really unsettled weather over the past couple of days. Well, that is on its way out. Dry air still settling in across Central Florida, and that's going to keep rain chances pretty low. So as we take it here hour by hour, so you can kind of plan out your day, plan out the last day of school for many kids. 94 is our official high in Orlando, upper 80s for you guys along the coastline as that ocean breeze will continue to push inland. But we just don't have any available moisture. So we've got no rain, we've got barely any cloud cover to really help the cooling process at all. So I really want to focus our attention on Sunday and Monday because the heat will build up for days, which it has been, and it could kind of reach the peak on Monday, and that will be one of those things we're going to keep a really close eye on for the potential of seeing a heat advisory. Once we start getting feels like temperatures above 105, that's when sometimes those advisories are issued. So that's something we, of course, will keep an eye on, and we will let you know the moment it does if it happens. Looking here at the next couple of days, rain chances about 30 to 40% back into the forecast. A little more moisture, Bridget, kind of seeping back into the area come Tuesday and Wednesday. So just be prepared. Have a great, safe holiday weekend. The weather is going to cooperate in the way of we're not having to dodge rain like sometimes we have to
Hmm.
during the holiday, during a typical holiday weekend like this. Beach forecast is looking great. We have a moderate risk of rip current. So besides the heat, rip current risk will be the only real threat along our coastlines for the next couple days.
All righty, and we know it is going to be crowded out there at those
Hmm.
beaches. So, and on the roads too. So it
Yeah,
is.
I mean it's almost June, right? We're 8 days away from June 1st, and we know the summer is gonna come in and coming fast.
Yeah, and you know, when we were looking at, like you said, the hurricane predictions, and it just takes
Oh
one.
yeah.
I mean, we've got to be ready for that as well. So, you know, if you have a little extra time, maybe get some of those things ready with the hurricane kits as well.
Yeah. Do you have that graphic that shows
Yeah, we do.
the
I think
outlook?
we do.
What
We have the
wanna talk about?
outlook. Hmm.
Perfect. Let's
There it
talk about
goes.
it. So, CSU is from Colorado State University. Some people say, "Why do we listen to
Right.
meteorologists from Colorado?" Well, they don't have to deal with the tropics, but they're just a super reputable university institution that's been forecasting storms for a very, very long time. They brought out their forecast a few weeks ago. NOAA, the top line there, is now forecasting 17 to 25 named storms,
Wow.
8 to 13 of those being hurricanes, and 4 to 7 of them becoming major. Now look at the bottom row there. That's the average. The average is 14. So you can see already the low end of any of the numbers on that chart is well above average.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing for hurricanes, same thing for major. So they're not even expecting a near to above average. It is just straight out above average. And that's because we just have so many different factors in play. This is something that the entire team has been talking about for months, talking about the transition from El Nino to La Nina. Jonathan Kegas, his Weatherwise show that airs right after this, also really does like a big deep dive into all
Mm-hmm.
the factors and the analogs and the cycles, and it's just everything is pointing to a very active year. And the first line that the NOAA administrator yesterday said in the conference that I told you we were going to be
Mm.
listening to yesterday, he called it an extraordinary season just because the numbers and the factors and the
Right.
models and everything is just going to be extra heightened. So, like last year, we had record ocean temperatures
Mm-hmm.
during an El Nino pattern, which tends to bring us cooler ocean temperatures.
Mm-hmm.
La Nina is the one that tends to heat up our ocean. So if we were seeing what we saw last year with an El Nino pattern,
Mm-hmm.
and now we have like an extremely high likelihood of seeing a full-fledged La Nina by the peak of hurricane season, the signs are there. La Nina also tends to limit wind shear. So if you think of let me show you a demonstration I show the kids when I go to schools. Let me show you something real quick. So you have to imagine a hurricane like a cylinder of air, right? So this is the eye of the storm, right? So this is the hurricane, and it spins throughout the ocean.
Right.
The moment you get wind shear, it basically cuts the tops off of hurricanes and collapses them, right? So wind shear, we like wind shear.
Okay.
Storms don't like wind shear. La Nina tends to decrease any wind shear. So we don't have that
Mm.
slicing of those storms that we want to see out in the tropics.
Mm.
So all these factors, there's no surprise for those numbers. And like you said, at the end of the day, no matter what those numbers look like on that chart, it just takes one. And
Right.
I always go back to 1992 with Hurricane Andrew in
Mm-hmm.
South Florida. It was late August, and we were dealing with Hurricane Andrew. The letter
Yeah.
is A, meaning that was the
Right.
first storm of the season. That
Yeah.
was a slow season. So it only
Mm-hmm.
takes one to make it a memorable year.
It is so true.
Prepare, don't panic, just do
Right.
what you got to do. And we have a hurricane special, by the way, June 3rd.
Yes, and that's going to be great too, with lots of good, preparatory information. I want to talk
Hmm.
just quickly before I leave you, Candace.
Tell me.
How do you tell people to pace themselves through the hurricane season? Say that you are new to this region and this
Hmm.
this whole type of thing, and it does get to be a little exhausting.
It
And
does.
how do you pace yourself? One day at a time or one week at a time, as one more thing comes out that we're watching.
I know. I know. Um, Stay off social media. It's one of those things that nowadays technology is amazing. And now we have so many models at our fingertips where they used to only be used by the National Weather Service, the National Hurricane Center. Big time entities were the only ones that could collect that much data from all these models. But now with websites and stuff, you can just go in and start clicking around and finding all that.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of, what's a nice way of me saying this? There's a lot of mm, couch meteorologists
Okay.
where they don't have all the knowledge and experience to back up all the model data. So you can see all these spaghetti models like, oh, it's going right here. Well, do you know all the other things that go into play? So there was one model that answered every question. We wouldn't have a whole plethora of models, right?
Hmm.
So there's a lot more to just looking at numbers on a map. You got to put them together. And so sometimes I feel like the overwhelming social media information overload.
Hmm.
So maybe not stay off of social media, but just take what you see online with a grain of salt and
Right.
find a source that you feel is the
Reputable.
best and the most and reputable, right? So
Hmm.
if you want to go straight to the National Hurricane Center, then that's what you do. If you want to come to News 6, where we It's not the hype. We're going to show you, look at all the different things National Hurricane Center is tracking. You know me. I say it how it is. I'll be like, all right, you don't need to worry about all these other ones. This is the one you need to worry about. Or this is one that has me a little more suspicious, or so we get to kind of talk about that. We get to talk about it more at length here on Breakfast with Bridgett. So I would just say, just find your little knowledge bubble and kind of focus on that. And then the other thing is, with your hurricane kit, that's the beauty of hurricane preparation, is that it lasts. So if you can't just go out and spend $200 on batteries and battery operated fans and flashlights and canned foods and water all at the same time, do a little bit at the same time. Sometimes I like to highlight on the different weekly ads if there's batteries on sale or things like that. And you also have the tax-free holidays, which are also shaves off a couple dollars off the bottom line there. So those are my little tips.
Yeah.
Wait, look for the sales. Take your time in doing that. And of course, watching the hurricane special, and that kind of gives you a good little jump start to kind of be aware of your surroundings around your home or your property and things like that too.
All right, good deal. Looking forward to that special too. All right, Candace.
8 days away. 8 days away.
Yes. Okay, here we go. Ready or not, but you better be ready. Okay.
Exactly.
Thanks, Candace. All right, let's check in with Trooper Steve, and he is out there in Results 1 and had a fun day yesterday with Boo, who we hope will get adopted from Orange County Animal Services. Good morning.
Good morning, Bridgett. Yeah, we're doing pretty good with our record so far, and I love how Crystal this morning, off camera, she's like, well, if you're looking for a Boo, we've got one for you. And that is so true. He was so sweet. Big dog. When I say big dog, I think I'm more referring to like weight and just the feel of him. He's about a medium size, but we're talking 80 pounds, looking for a home. And when I got home, the only way I could describe him was like, he's one of the bros. He's just, to me, came across as like a surfer, outdoors kind of guy, because he just wants to hang out. He's not a big fan of other dogs, loves his humans though. So if you're looking for a home, over at Facebook, we've posted it. Over at Trooper Steve on Patrol at clickorlando.com, that story's there. You definitely want to check out Boo. He's been there 72 days.
I'm going to pull up your message that you texted me. I'm going to pull up the picture of Boo. And
he's just,
it's hard for me
perfect.
to show it
he's
on the
absolutely
camera,
perfect.
He is just.
That's fine. Look at that. Look at that right there. Look at that tongue. I gave him so many kisses yesterday. I did need to put that suit into dry cleaning once I was done because of the slobber effect. Look at that. Like, I just want treats. I just want treats. That's it. You get this morning team talking about food or animals. That's it. We'll just talk for hours. But no, he's there. He's ready, and he's going to go home. He's ready to go home. No health issues. No aggression. He's just put him in your face. He just wants to be an only
child. That's the only thing.
That's he wants to be an only child. So, and then today we're going to be talking basics. Bridgett, you ever been driving and you know you're going to make a left or a right up ahead, and you know you need to get into the turning lane, but the traffic is so backed up that you find yourself in the through lane and you're sitting there.
Oh, man.
And everyone's backed up and everyone's confused of what to do. So I have a very simple answer to this, and we're going to talk about that today at 8:30 at clickorlando.com. It is the most common sense of Trooper Steve answers that ever going to get, but I've seen people stress out, and with Memorial Day weekend, a lot of people hitting the road today. I just want to maybe talk about some of the basics, get us back to our mental health of driving, and what we need to focus on this weekend. So that will be today at 8:30 at clickorlando.com.
And I think that we have some tips coming up here about this busy travel weekend too. So hopefully people will take their time and be safe, because if you're in traffic, there's really just not a whole lot you can do about it, because everyone's just trying to get to the same places.
Right. If you're complaining about traffic while you're in traffic, then you've got nothing to complain about, because you're contributing to your own complaint. So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today, and just knock that out. I can give you your traffic real quick, and then I'll let you go.
Unless you're in labor, you are not special. Stop trying to go around everybody.
True. Facts.
Unless you're headed to the ER.
Why haven't you ridden in this truck with me yet? We need to do this and just go for a drive and do lunch.
I'm ready.
Let's do it. All right, I'm gonna get Tara to schedule that
Okay.
up. So right now, your drive times, if you are blessed enough to be leaving us this weekend and maybe traveling, your drive times to the airport looking pretty good. So I've picked three different locations, triangular locations entering towards the airport area. Sorry for the thumbs down there, but my Facebook FaceTime is still doing that. So 11 minutes if you're coming from 417 North End, Claremont. 40-minute drive, and then 32 minutes from Kissimmee, which is really good. Your eastbound drive times, 32 minutes, Champions Gate to downtown. This is the sign right here. 32 minutes from Champions Gate to downtown is a sign to say traffic isn't that bad out there. Normally, this is a 41-minute drive time at this hour, so we're looking really nice across Central Florida. Hunters Creek Turnpike, you're in the clear this morning. A little further north if you're out and about. Now, those icons are just showing brief slowdowns, but no major problems in the Metro Orlando area. Seminole County, you guys look great as well. I'll be out there at 9 after the stream for Memorial Day service over at the government facility. And then Winter Springs, you guys look great. And Sanford along with 417, no problems. The west side, Bridgett, we're green everywhere. Just need people to understand there's no school anymore, so we're going to see some slowdowns here and there. We'll see a pickup today during lunchtime. And then oddly, tomorrow morning, you will probably see some traffic also as people head towards the beaches and, of course, the attractions as well.
Yes. So the secret to that is super early or much, much later than everyone else.
Or just stay home and enjoy your pool.
Yeah. Or clean out your garage, like me.
Hey, that's what I'm doing today. I've been doing landscaping, and I can't wait to get back home and finish.
All right. Don't forget to pick up your heating pad. Don't leave that here this weekend.
Oh, I won't. I'll see you later.
All right. Thanks. Okay, so we've talked about all of the holiday travel and uptick there. Also today we want to get to some live interviews. We want to talk about Right at Home, and we have Nikki Magyar, who is with us from Right at Home Orlando. She's the president, and this morning we're talking about our senior community as well as their mental health. And Nikki, it's good to see you again. Good morning.
Good morning. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so thank you for having me.
Yes, and this is something that we are really happy to help spread more awareness about when it comes to everyone. And so we've talked about maternal mental health. And so today it's about our seniors and some of their unique needs. And so when you're working with seniors through Right at Home, it's something that's very supportive for them because they struggle with some different issues.
Yes, so we find that seniors are apt to have a higher level of isolation and loneliness. The CDC compares it to obesity and smoking to be that detrimental to your health. So it's really important to stay social, to keep yourself not withdrawn from others. And I know that that's really easy to get into that routine as you get older. Sometimes you're just not your old self, right? So you're feeling like you need to, maybe people aren't understanding you as well, or maybe your hearing is not as good, or you just don't feel up to getting out. So sometimes people withdraw, they don't use the phone as much, or they don't get out as much. And those are just some signs of loneliness and isolation that we want to avoid. There's also times that people will maybe not pay their bills or do simple tasks like taking out the trash and keeping up their hygiene. So with Right at Home, we help them stimulate their cognition, develop different routines in the home, and also keep them staying in touch with their loved ones. So maybe some technology help, or like we have ways that we can help them set up their iPads so they can FaceTime their loved ones, or get on Facebook so they can see their pictures and things like that to stay in touch.
And it is so important because it is like that mind-body connection, and we saw a big uptick with these types of conditions during the pandemic.
Yes, it was so a regular situation for all of us, being isolated at home, and really it weakens your immune system. Just you're not wanting to eat the same. You're just feeling a bit depressed, or there's different things that you're really stemming into this routine of just not being content with your daily routines and not wanting to get out there. So you can do things like volunteer at schools, volunteer at senior centers, or get involved at senior centers in general. They've got lots of activities, lots of exercise programs. If you bring in someone like Right at Home, like an agency, they can help you with those routines at home as well, and also be a great companion for you, so they can help you get out and do things that maybe you're not as comfortable to do by yourself anymore.
Right. And we talked to Seniors Helping Seniors about a week or so ago, and that was just really a great full circle way for seniors who are able to be more active to help those who maybe are a little bit more limited at home.
Yes, it is really a wonderful thing to give back as well, right? And you're helping your peers and just working together, and maybe sharing stories, reminiscing about things that you used to do. Or back in the day, this was something different. I mean, there's so many changes that have happened over the years, right? With technology, um, you know, everything that we've done to develop our society as it is, it's just so different from when you were younger as a senior. But it's so nice to share those stories with other people, and to really just focus on your family and your time that you have, and enjoy the journey that you've got.
Yeah. And so, are you looking for more people to work with Right at Home? And what are some ways that people can support their seniors in deciding if staying at home and having a little assistance is right, or if they need more full-time care, maybe at a senior living community?
Great question. So most of our clients really are more familiar with their own home environment, right? And so they are much more content to stay at home. They also might not have a mortgage anymore, so it's a little cheaper sometimes to stay at home. But it really just depends on the person. They want to stay at home because they've got their dog. Here we were talking about dogs earlier, and it's just a really comfortable environment to be there. But you do need to have the support of your neighbors, loved ones, maybe a caregiving agency like Right at Home, to make that an easy life choice. So some people do decide to move into assisted livings, and they're a wonderful decision also. But with Right at Home, our focus is to age in place and to just make that the most comfortable situation for you.
All right, awesome. Well, it's so good to touch on these topics and help spread awareness, especially in regards to mental health when it comes to these types of situations. Nikki, how can we keep in touch?
So you're welcome to call our office at 407-757-0981, or our website is seniorcareorlando.com. And we're here to help 24/7. So we take care of Orange, Osceola, and Seminole counties. And we're here for cognitive support, daily routines, any kind of hygiene care. Thank you for having me again, Bridgett. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for, helping spread awareness. And of course, we have a big community here of, aging adults who are looking for solutions. And this is definitely a great option. Thanks, Nikki. Have a great
Thank
weekend.
you.
And it is Friday, and so we like to preview our podcast, Black Men Sundays, with News 6 photojournalist and host Corey Murray. He is here with us again on this Friday. Happy Friday, Corey.
Yeah, happy Friday. How you doing?
Good. And so I hear that you are talking about finding the right financial advisor. I'm curious about how that works.
Yeah, well, check it out. On Black Men Sundays, this will be our 112th episode. We've had financial advisors come on the show, financial planners come on, but we've never talked about, you know, if you're looking for an advisor that's catered to you. So we interviewed Jude Wilson, the chief financial strategist from Centris Financial Strategies, which is located right in downtown Orlando. So I came out the gates after I did my intro. I came out the gates and I said, Jude, if I'm looking for a financial planner, what should I look for in selecting one? Let's roll that soundbite.
You want to look for someone who is actually providing comprehensive financial advice, looking at all aspects of your life. If someone is, the first thing that they say to you is, you would be a good candidate for a life insurance policy. We want to make you rich through growing your assets safely and getting a tax-free income from it. Oftentimes, people hear that and they get interested, but they don't understand that that's one strategy, and you have to be ready for that strategy for it to work. But also, sometimes the people that are promoting certain strategies, they only have one tool in their toolkit. They got a hammer. And if you got a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So if I'm an insurance agent, I have a disposition to sell insurance. If I'm a stockbroker, I have a disposition to sell individual mutual funds or stocks. You have to look for someone who says, you know what, Corey, let's take a look at your life right now. Let's look at what are your goals for the future. And let's put together a step-by-step plan to see that you're making progress on achieving those goals. And here's some strategies that maybe you do know of, and maybe some strategies you don't know of that will help you get there efficiently.
All right.
Definitely. Yes. And on this show, in addition, we talk about the R word, retirement. We talk
Mm-hmm.
about how to retire with the lifestyle that you're currently living. What techniques will you need? We also talk to, we also talk about the Henrys, the people that are high income earners, but they're not rich yet, but they have financial termites that may be sucking away at their money. And that's the uniqueness of Jude Wilson's central financial strategies, because what they're going to do is they're going to make sure that the plan is catered to the individual instead of
Mm-hmm.
just having a financial advisor that's just giving you a generic plan that's been working for many customers. So there you have it. And that show drops this Sunday, Black Men Sundays on YouTube. It's on all podcast platforms, News 6 Plus. Yeah, so check it out.
Corey, I'm curious, did he talk about how many maybe you should interview or meet with before you make a decision?
No, he didn't talk about how many. He just gave advice on the do's and don'ts of certain wordplay that a financial advisor may say to you, just like he said in that
Mm-hmm.
soundbite. But that's really the basis of the show, is selecting a financial advisor that's going to set you up for retirement. Because when we talk
Mm-hmm.
about retirement, we talk about the 401k, the Roths, we talk
Mm-hmm.
about taxes, we talk about bonds. But the thing about it is, if you don't have the correct financial advisor working for you,
Mm-hmm.
then when you retire, you may not be able to live that lifestyle that you're
Yeah.
currently living, and that's the whole point of this show.
Yes. And what about if maybe you're not a good match and maybe you need to break up with someone you're already partnered with?
Definitely. Yeah, actually that happened to me because I felt like I had a financial advisor. He was a cool dude, but I felt like all I was doing was just every month, well, twice a month, I was just putting money in my accumulation phase. But I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we're not having any conversations. When I call you, you're always busy. I need some more advice
Yeah.
outside of just, putting money in my Roth IRA.
All righty. Well, we'll see you
So
on
we took
Sunday
care of that
morning,
too.
Corey. Donovan is
That's right.
wrapping me, but have a great holiday weekend.